Another bright spot in my garden has been all of the sunflowers and all the birds it brings. I think we should paint some sunflowers. Grab your watercolors and give them a spritz. I have all sorts of varieties of sunflowers in my yard, and my favorite ones right now are these ones that have these really bright green and yellow centers. So we're gonna start by putting a nice bright green in our brush. Then we're gonna make a small circle. Then we're gonna leave some space and we're gonna make a ring around it. While that's still wet, we're gonna wash our brush and fill it with a bright yellow color. Then we're going to paint those two together so they start to mix and mingle. While it's still wet, I'm going to take a slightly darker green color and I'm going to drop it around that center ring and around the edges. And I'm going to let that soak in for a second while I mix up a larger quantity of a bright but light yellow color. Something a little like this. I'm going to load up my brush with that color, take the tip of my brush, touch it to the center, and then pull out while pushing down, spinning my brush and releasing the pressure. I'm gonna do that around the center we just made, leaving a little space in between. I'm gonna go in between these and add in some more. Sunflower petals can be kind of chaotic, so if you want them to kind of go in different directions, go for it. I'm gonna add in a second layer. I want these to be really thick and overlapping so we get some depth to them, but in order for them to stay separate, we're gonna need to let them dry or make them dry. Once they're dry, I'm going to modify that yellow color to be a little more saturated and maybe a little more orange. Then I'm just going to keep adding in those petals, making sure they overlap in certain areas so that we get the impression of multiple layers of petals. And I'm going to stop whenever I'm happy with the coverage. Once you have your flowers done, you want to let them dry or make them dry. And then we're going to add in some stalks, making kind of a medium green color, just a nice straight line down. And we're going to add in some odes to some leaves. I'm just going to make little branches off and just kind of push my brush down. I'm not trying to make super detailed leaves. I want them to look like they're kind of flat and just sticking out like this. We wouldn't be able to see the shape. Bright and cheerful, just like sunflowers. They're really just like a ray of sunshine, aren't they?